Very sorry.
Apologetic. For example, the manager was apologetic about everything. The manager was apologetic about everything.
Very pale.
Ashen. For example, she was thin and her face was ashen. She was thin and her face was ashen.
Very simple.
Basic? For example, Sally really needs to get some basic financial advice. Sally really needs to get some basic financial advice. Another example. The teacher explains about basic mathematical concepts. The teacher explains about basic mathematical concepts.
Very pretty.
Beautiful. For example, there are beautiful birds on the tree branch. There are beautiful birds on the tree branch.
Very sure.
Certain. For example, he tends to overuse certain favorite expressions. He tends to overuse certain favorite expressions.
Very scary.
Chilling. For example, the chilling silence of that house sent shivers down his spine. The chilling silence of that house sent shivers down his spine.
Very powerful.
Compelling. For example, her poem as always lucid and compelling. Her poem as always lucid and compelling.
Very tight.
Constricting. For example, women's clothing was, of course, constricting. Doubtless an aspect of this fashion to control the body.
Very tasty.
Delicious? For example, Michael's mom served him a delicious lunch. Michael's mom served him a delicious lunch. Another example, this delicious variation on an omelette is quick and easy to prepare. This delicious variation on an omelette is quick and easy to prepare.
Very soft.
Downy. For example, there is a downy puppy in my room. There is a downy puppy in my room.
Very special.
Exceptional. For example, Sean showed his exceptional musical ability to audience. Sean showed his exceptional musical ability to audience. Another example. Lucy is a girl of exceptional talent in ballerina. Lucy is a girl of exceptional talent in ballerina.
Very tired.
Exhausted. For example, Mary has exhausted herself working. Mary has exhausted herself working.
Very wide.
Expansive. For example, there was an expansive view from the window. There was an expansive view from the window. Another example, our father was in an expansive mood and gave presents to all of his children. Our father was in an expansive mood and gave presents to all of his children.
Very perfect.
flawless. For example, her English is almost flawless. Her English is almost flawless.
Very talented.
Gifted. For example, Sophia is gifted at maths. Sophia is gifted at maths. Another example, he was a gifted teacher who never talked down to his students. He was a gifted teacher who never talked down to his students.
Very sweet.
Thoughtful. For example, this boy had a thoughtful look on his face. This boy had a thoughtful look on his face.
Very shiny.
Gleaming. For example, we saw the fireworks of the little town gleaming in the distance. We saw the fireworks of the little town gleaming in the distance. Another example, the house was gleaming with fresh white paint. The house was gleaming with fresh white paint.
Very serious.
Grave. For example, his face was grave as he told his staff about the bankruptcy of his business. His face was grave as he told his staff about the bankruptcy of his business.
Very sharp.
Keen. For example, eagles have very keen eyesight. Eagles have very keen eyesight.
Very tiny.
Minuscule. For example, Mike's office is minuscule. Mike's office is minuscule.
Very thirsty.
Parched. For example, I must get a drink. I'm absolutely parched. I must get a drink. I'm absolutely parched.
Very scared.
Petrified. For example, most people seem to be petrified of snakes. Most people seem to be petrified of snakes. Another example, she has always been petrified of being alone. She has always been petrified of being alone.
Very rainy.
Pouring. For example, it was absolutely pouring with rain. It was absolutely pouring with rain. Another example, he was pouring Turkish coffee into a cup on a saucer. He was pouring Turkish coffee into a cup on a saucer.
Very skinny.
Skeletal. For example, her body is skeletal. Her body is skeletal.
Very smooth.
Sleek. For example, she wore a sleek black evening gown. She wore a sleek black evening gown.
Very shy.
Timid. For example, timid kid needs gentle handling to build up his or her confidence. Timid kid needs gentle handling to build up his or her confidence.
Very open.
Transparent. For example, Bobby promised to be transparent about the finances with his wife. Bobby promised to be transparent about the finances with his wife.